Trump goes off when asked for a message to scared citizens. A Texas-based company announces that it will make the first home test kit for COVID-19. And Baltimore's comptroller, Joanne Pratt, slams an OIG investigation. Today on The Diamond K Show. Welcome back to Radio on Fire. Of course, I'm your man Diamond K, and we are here for the program Radio on Fire, providing the best in breaking news, entertainment, and political stories that matter to you from an independent point of view. Things are just moving. During a White House press briefing today, President Trump stated that he was optimistic about a possible drug treatment to combat the coronavirus. He talked a little bit about it on Thursday, and it's actually a drug for malaria, which is obviously not the coronavirus, but for some reason, the president feels good about this possible drug treatment.
Fauci said there is no magic drug for coronavirus right now, which you would agree. I guess on this issue,
I think we only disagree a little bit.
Sorry.
I disagree. Maybe and maybe not. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. We have to see.
He was communicating and he tried to fast track something with the FDA because they have to approve this. And because this drug is already on the market, you need a prescription to get it, but it's already on the market. The president seems to think that it's fine for them to attempt to use it for treatment of the coronavirus.
Possible that your impulse to put a positive spin on things may be giving Americans a false sense of hope.
No, I don't think so.
Misrepresenting the preparedness right now.
No, I don't think so. I think that, I think it's got...
The not yet approved drug.
Such a lovely question. Look, it may work and it may not work. And I agree with the doctor, what he said. May work, may not work. I feel good about it. That's all it is, just a feeling.
Now, the doctors, the people that are in the know, they feel as though, okay, evidence is not there, hasn't had a clinical trial. Evidence is definitely anecdotal, but the president seemed to be pushing the issue.
You know, I'm a smart guy. I feel good about it. And we're going to see. You're going to see soon enough. And we have certainly some very big samples of people. If you look at the people, you have a lot of people that are in big trouble. And this is not a drug that obviously, I think I can speak from a lot of experience because it's been out there for over 20 years. So it's not a drug that you have a huge amount of danger with. It's not like a brand new drug that's been just created that may have an unbelievable monumental effect, like kill you.
And when asked about it, NBC White House correspondent Peter Alexander asked if the positive spin that Trump was trying to put on these drugs being researched was giving Americans false hope.
I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism, and the same with NBC and Comcast. I don't call it.
Well, President Trump went off. Now, instead of answering the direct question, he attacked something that had nothing to do with it.
That's really bad reporting. And you ought to get back to reporting instead of sensationalism. Let's see if it works. It might and it might not. I happen to feel good about it, but who knows? I've been right a lot.
As you can see, Trump, in rare form, saying that it may work, it may not work. He feels good about it. That's all it is a feeling. Americans right now don't need a feeling from Donald Trump, who's not a doctor.
Right now, in terms of malaria, if you want it, you can have a prescription. You get a prescription. And by the way, and it's very effective. It works. I have a feeling you may, and I'm not being overly optimistic or pessimistic. I sure as hell think we ought to give it a try. I mean, there's been some interesting things happened and some good, very good things.
And because he's been right about some things, that doesn't mean that he's right about everything. He has no medical background. At this point, when we have these press conferences, I think that the person who should be speaking should be a physician. We are talking, as Trump has said on many occasions, not about a financial issue. This is not a financial crisis. This is a health crisis that has resulted a financial crisis. But in order to get out of this crisis, we need the help of health professionals. And because Donald Trump has made his money not in health, I think that he should leave it to the health professionals. But when you see how uncomfortable he is and he's speaking about something that he doesn't know about, so he has to go off and he has to be angry and angry at Alexander, and then he started to just go in a whole direction that had nothing to do with what was being asked. Scared Americans are scared, and there's a lot to be scared about. If you look around this country, things have changed. No sporting events, no live events, no restaurants, no gyms, no malls. Americans have questions. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with the journalists asking President Trump to give some assurance to Americans. But as I said, Trump went off, pointing at him, telling him that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I said. And of course, as we've always seen, whenever he gets a question that he doesn't like, he calls it a nasty question. This time he called it a very nasty question. The American people are looking for answers, which is true. They're looking for hope, which is true, but not false hope. Like the president, who's not a doctor, randomly thinking and giving them some type of hope that a drug for malaria is going to cure the coronavirus. But he called that sensationalism, which it is not. But that's the latest from our president as it relates to fighting the coronavirus. But he didn't stop there. No. He didn't stop there. The president said on Thursday that the government should take an equity stake in some companies that need bailouts. He's trying to take over things in the private sector because of the devastating effects of the coronavirus pandemic on the U.S. economy. This is outrageous. But Trump said in a briefing that he had the executive authority to curb the impact on business. Okay. There's a lot of executive power, which it is. And he said that if we don't have to use it, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing. But in some extraordinary reach, Trump is talking about reaching into the private sector, which is not, it should not be a surprise to anyone. That is something that he just could not wait to do. This president is out of control. He's out of control. Now, I think that at times, because he's a Gemini, I mean, maybe there's two sides. Sometimes I believe that he wants the best for the country. And other times, the mean Richie Rich side comes through and he just tries to find ways to capitalize off this. Empathizing with the American people is not one of his strong points. It's not one of his strong points. Something has got to give. The death toll in Maryland is continuing to rise. It's not as high as some other places, but the death toll here in Maryland is now 2. So late tonight, Governor Larry Hogan confirmed the death of a Baltimore County man. A second Marylander has lost his life as a result of the coronavirus, this pandemic. And on behalf of the entire state, the governor said that we want to send our heartfelt condolences to the family and all those who loved him. Communities across the country are beginning to really put some things in effect. California, Gavin Newsom had this to say.
There's a recognition of our interdependence that requires of this moment that we direct a statewide order for people to stay at home. Let's bend the curve together. Let's not regret. Let's not dream of regretting. Go back, say, well, we coulda, woulda, shoulda.
So doing something like that in a state with 40 million people is significant. And if this is successful in curbing some of the COVID-19 cases, you may see other states enacting some stringent rules like Gavin Newsom has done. So it's not going to limit people from going to get food and medicine and taking their children outside, but it's really putting a stiff arm around people and really trying to almost more than shame them into staying indoors, but really focusing people on not going to the beach. A lot of people not taking this seriously. And I've said this before, a lot of Americans, especially younger ones, are not taking it as serious because from the top, the president has a lackluster attitude about it. We talked earlier in the week about maybe he was taking a serious tone. That tone has evaporated. That was Monday. Now, Friday, the nature that the president has is back to his old vindictive, angry, bratty ways, right? Bratty ways. As of Friday morning, here in Maryland, the Department of Health reported that the state had 149 confirmed cases of coronavirus, including 13 in Baltimore County. So Maryland is a small state, but as you can see, things are picking up here with regards to COVID-19. As far as kids going back to school, I don't think that that's something that's going to happen. The rest of this calendar year, don't expect that to happen. As you can see, online is the way that universities and colleges are going, and I think that they're going to try to find a similar solution for other kids. Graduations and the like, out the window. It's a new day. You listen to the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. Let's take a quick break and come back with more of the program after this. Welcome back to the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. Of course, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. So many people file their taxes late. This year, there's going to be no excuse. Now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin announced today that the deadline for income tax filing has been moved back an additional 3 months. Normally, April 15th, now July 15th. He tweeted, at Real Donald Trump's direction, we are moving tax day from April 15th to July 15th. All taxpayers and businesses will have this additional time to file and make payments without interest or penalties. He then urged people expecting a refund to file now to get your money. So there you have it. Now, as far as states, they're expected to follow the federal government's lead on changing this tax deadline, but you are still urged to check with your local state authority or tax professional so you don't get jammed up unnecessarily with a 3-month window here. But, you know, each state is going to do their own thing, so definitely check with them. As we talk about this COVID-19 and what does it mean, people being on lockdown as far as their communities, supplies going off the shelves, not being replenished in a timely manner. A Florida man was arrested recently after allegedly stealing 66 rolls of toilet paper from an Orlando area hotel. Police said that the hotel security saw the 31-year-old man pushing a trash can to his van and seen placing a bag inside. Guards peeking through a window saw that the bag contained unused rolls of toilet paper that belonged to the Marriott. Oh no, they could not have that. When confronted about the toilet tissue, he admitted to stealing, but was taking it to a woman that was poor and in need. The arrest report showed that he apologized for the theft. And it was also reported that he was a cleaner for the hotel, which gave him access to the toilet tissue and the essential supplies. Deputies said that he was charged with theft from a public lodging establishment. So there you go. In this time of need, you know, you have people stealing toilet tissue. That's what it is, and that's a reflection of what is he was just trying to sell this toilet tissue more than likely. We don't know, but I mean, it's it's things are really sad when you have folks doing stuff like that. So the NFL has confirmed its first case of COVID-19. Famous coach, we can call him famous, Sean Payton of the New Orleans Saints head coach, 56 years old. He said that this is not just about social distancing. It's shutting down here for a week or 2 weeks. If people understand the curve and understand the bump, we can easily work together as a country to reduce it. Take a minute to understand what the experts are saying, Sean Payton said. It's not complicated to do what they're asking of us. Just that small type of investment by every one of us will have a dramatic impact. That's what he said. He took to social media to say that he appreciates the well wishes. He's feeling better and fortunate to not have any of the respiratory symptoms. 4 more days at home. #beat COVID. In addition to that, we found out that the Los Angeles Lakers have 2 players that have not been named as of yet who have tested positive for COVID-19. They last played against the Brooklyn Nets, who was one of the first teams in the league to report cases of the coronavirus. We have constantly heard about how important testing is. Well, a Texas-based medical company has announced that it will make the first at-home test kit for COVID-19, which is going to be available starting March the 23rd. Now, Everlywell produces a series of at-home tests for a variety of diseases and viruses. Now, the company has validated testing for everything from cholesterol levels to fertility to infectious diseases like STDs. All you can do this at home. So check this out. People will be able to order these tests directly from Everlywell after answering a few questions about their health, their symptoms, and risk factors associated with COVID-19. They want to know about pre-existing conditions and the such. So a doctor through the PNW Health, which is a national physician network, will review the answers and determine if the person has symptoms that is consistent with coronavirus, and then after that, they will prescribe the test. The initial supply is going to be 30,000 coronavirus tests, and they are uniquely positioned to help. They said that they're in this fight together, and the test is going to be about $120, something like that. So it's interesting. You're going to probably see a lot more things like this. But you got to be cautious of this, because I think that you're going to give you the test, and then they're going to say you need to go to a physician to get another test just to confirm the test that you already got. You're taking some swab and they're shoving it up your nose, basically. But you got to put that far up your nose, like touching your brain almost. Most people at home are not going to do that. So are you going to get the exact specimen that you need? Things have escalated significantly. Protect yourself, protect those around you. The show is going to continue after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Radio on Fire. Your man Diamond K in here. So, Baltimore Comptroller Joanne Pratt responds to the Office of the Inspector General report. She has been under investigation. And here's the thing. Baltimore has got to be tired of the corruption, tired of politicians and their shady behavior. Now, the report is coming from the Office of the Inspector General. The report says that the comptroller failed to recuse herself on multiple votes on matters that she had a conflict of interest, things that she had some type of stake in. Now, Pratt says that this report is misleading, and there's numerous misleading false conclusions being made. That's what she said. She is the subject of this investigation, which uncovers 30 city contracts that she voted to award, which were alleged conflicts of interest. Haven't we heard stuff like this before? What is going on in Baltimore? Where are we finding these politicians at? Joanne Pratt is a Baltimore City Comptroller in Maryland. Okay? Her current term ends this year. She's running for re-election right now. Pratt is a Democrat, and the primary, which has been changed, is now June the 2nd, 2020. There's not a Republican running against her, but there is a Democrat running against her. And she had this to say to her voters. As comptroller, I have saved $31 million for Baltimoreans. The office of the comptroller is about earning and saving money for the city and holding all departments and city government and contractors accountable. I will continue to put Baltimore first. Re-elect me, Joanne Pratt. That's what she said to her potential voters. This Office of the Inspector General investigation is a major thorn in the side for someone who's running for re-election. She released a statement, and she slammed the Office of the Inspector General, and of course she's not going along with that. This report claimed that these 30 different items that she voted on totaled $48 million. That involved organizations that Pratt had listed as groups on which she would have to abstain from voting. And that includes Bethel AME Church, where she is a member. So they're not saying that she took $48 million. They're saying that she was voting on things that, before the vote starts, way ahead of time, she's saying, I shouldn't be participating in this vote. And then she ends up voting, in favor of clearly. Pratt told 11 News that despite the fact that those issues were approved unanimously by every city agency involved and every member of the Board of Estimates, I accepted responsibility for my vote. So here she's saying that she didn't cast a deciding vote. So why are you coming down on her? Is basically what she's saying. And I'm sure that the, Inspector General has different views on that. Pratt also added that she requested more time to provide extra information, but the report was published before she was able to, and she thinks that an internal investigation will prove her point. So she's trying to say that she needed more time because the coronavirus came and she couldn't provide the necessary information. Baltimoreans have to be tired of corruption and scandal and the appearance of unethical politicians. After the break, we're going to talk about Baltimore's top politician continuing to disgrace the city of Baltimore. You're listening to the Don McKay Show. Stay tuned. There's going to be more after this. Finally, ethicsalarms.com is a website about ethics. It's run by a teacher, consultant, and a lawyer named Jack Marshall. He's also the president of Pro Ethics Limited. So, according to ethicsalarm.com, the incompetent elected official of the month for March is none other than Baltimore Mayor Jack Young. Some people seem to think that we've reached a point where the mayor of Baltimore is just by nature going to be filled by an incompetent official. Of course, we know the troubles of Kathy Pugh. We've talked about that extensively. And for people that are old enough to remember the good old days when William Donald Schaefer was the mayor, we've definitely come a long way from that. And there's a lot of temptation, and I understand all of those things. But we're not even talking about corruption. We're talking about incompetence. We're talking about Jack Young, who we have to say that he was not elected mayor. He fell into this position because of the actions of Catherine Pugh. And now that he wants to actually be mayor, he is being critiqued for statements that he makes. That Mayor Jack Young said, "I want to reiterate how completely unacceptable the level of violence is that we have seen recently. We will not stand for mass shootings and the increase in crime." He continues, "For those of you who want to continue to shoot and kill people in this city, we're not going to tolerate it. We're going to come after you, and we're going to get you. We cannot clog up our hospitals and their beds with people that are being shot senselessly, because we're going to need those beds for people infected with coronavirus. And it could be your mother, your grandmother, or one of your relatives. So take that into consideration." This statement, it is the epitome of weak. It's the epitome of incompetent. Oh, he's mad. Like, he's really going to go after him. Like, you weren't mad before, but because coronavirus is happening and you need those beds, now you're mad. The longer that Jack Young is in office, the more people look at Baltimore with the side eye. The problems in Baltimore are vast. We have police corruption. We have a poverty problem. We have a crime problem, violence, many government officials who are robbers and thieves and liars. And at the top of the heap, we have a weak, incompetent mayor who is begging criminals to stop killing so he don't run out of hospital beds because of the pandemic of the coronavirus. This is the top official in the city. It's an admission of desperation, powerlessness, and a leader who at this point might as well quit. I mean, no one takes him serious. They can't take him serious. The criminals are going to be, oh, Jack Young's coming after us now. We need to stop killing. So he's saying the senseless killing. So if they are killing for a good reason, then that's okay. I've seen Jack Young at debates and forums, and he's not strong enough to run this city. How he has squeaked by in the city council for so long, and before he accidentally fell into the office that he currently holds, is beyond me. But clearly, he has to go. Jack Young as the mayor it's beyond me. Radio on Fire, of course, your man Dominic K. These are my thoughts. Radio on Fire provides the best in breaking news, entertainment, sports, and political stories that matter to you. You can get show archives, exclusive content, and much more. Become a member today at radioonfire.com/join. We are reporting for the nation, original reporting, trusted news with content and perspective found nowhere else. Like and subscribe. New videos drop every day. So I'll be back here tomorrow with another edition of the Diamond K Show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you guys tomorrow.